Excuse me. Good afternoon, everybody. How are we? Hope you're all doing well. I'm just going to do my checks, make sure I'm live in the right place. Yep, there we go. Right, you can get rid of that. Oh, you'll have to excuse me. So thanks, Kat. As some of you know, I'm up and down with my health at the moment, and this morning woke up just tired. I felt okay, and as the days progressed, I've gone a bit chesty, a bit nasally, and started with a headache. But I've taken some paracetamol, so I'm hoping I'll be okay. So how are we all? Hope we are all well. I've spent an hour this morning trying to book accommodation. We've booked an event in Surrey in June for the car. And you have to book the event and then you can book your accommodation. So I rang up this morning. It took me 20 minutes before the phone was answered to me. I mean, obviously everyone's trying to do it. I totally understand. But then it was like over 40 minutes before I got to the front of the queue and spoke to someone. But luckily we're in. We've got our accommodation sorted. So that's 2 events this year with the car that we're doing. So I'm quite excited about that. They're new events. The one that I've booked today, we've never been to. The other one, Dell's been for the day. We've never stayed there, but we're staying. So that'll be nice. Get back into things there. And of course, I've got Stampin' Up on stage in March. So I'm really looking forward to that. And talking of that, that's an event for demonstrators. And starting on the 3rd of Feb to the 2nd of March, we have a new joining offer. And the joining offer is going to be that you get the starter kit, but you will receive a free one of these. And this is the new Stampin Platform. I haven't opened it. I've seen some videos on it. But yeah, I thought I'd open it with you and we'll have a play and just see how we go. Beans as I'm we'll just have a bit of a play and see where it takes us. So let's swap cameras. So as demonstrators, we got to order this early. And then it'll be next month available free with a starter kit. So let's open this. Now, there are lots of stamping platforms out there. We had the Stamparatus before that I loved. I still have. I still use. But unfortunately, we had to cease production of that. So I've spent a long time designing this one and coming up with something that they like and that they feel is good enough. There are platforms out there very similar, I believe. Other than the Stamparatus, I've never used another platform, so I don't know what they're like. Excuse me. But we shall see what this one's like. So we've got our base. There's no markings on our base, but on the rear it's got foam, so it stops it from sliding. It's going to slide on here because this is just a vinyl wrap. But it's not going to slide as much as a normal piece of plastic, as you see. That's quite stiff to move. All right, then on here, I'm reading my instructions as well. So in it, we get the base, 2 magnets, a large stamp plate, and a small stamp plate. It's quite self-explanatory. So on here, we have notches the end two line up with the large plate, and then I believe these smaller ones line up with the smaller plate, and we can move it along so that we can do step stamping at different intervals. And then on here, which I don't know if you'll be able to see, but we've got centimetres. It starts at 0 in the middle, centimetres to 11 that way, and inches below to just over 4 1/4. Then here we do have a V inscribed in it. You can't see it, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. And I believe that allows us to put a piece of card in, like so, and line it up so we know it's level, and then we can go do like a round or get things in a 4, which we can have a play with as well. So that's the main pad. Oh, we've also got measurements in centimeters and inches down here, up to 17 and 6 3/4. So it's a nice size. And then our large plate has a grid, which is helpful for lining stamps up straight. And then this is actually on springs. It's spring loaded, so that you can push down to get a nice impression. And the same with this. The 4 springs are on this, and they're rubber feet, so they shouldn't slip. Whereas with the big one, those 2 are sprung, and there's the 2 on here. Now I did purchase the grid paper to go with, because it's always handy to have some grid paper. Whether Stampin' Up will be selling these separate at a later date, I'm unsure. But as of now, the only way I know to get your hands on one, if you're not a demonstrator, is to sign up as a demonstrator next month. Now these little notches on here line up with little holes on the grid paper, and that'll hold it in place really well. That's really sturdy on there. And we've got inches on one side and centimetres on the other. So let's go centimetres, because that's what I tend to use for my card. Hello, Katie's fancying it, eh? Something a bit different. Then we've got the magnets, which are super strong magnets, like we had with the Stamparatus, but this time they're in a plastic case, so it's easy to be able to pull them apart. The others used to clip together, and it was terrible to try and get them apart. And they broke as well because they were so strong and dense. Whereas these have got the coating on, so that's better to hold those. Just have a drink of tea. So it says, secure your paper on the base with magnets. So let's grab a piece of cardstock. There we go. And we'll just pop it at naught and line it up square. And we can pop our magnets on to hold that down. Then it says, place a large stamp plate on the base and press to pick up the stamp. Oh, we should have already put our stamp on. So I've just grabbed the Fabulous Sayings, which is the product of the month. So I thought we'd have a little bit of a play with this, because I haven't used it yet. And it's got some gorgeous sentiments. Happy birthday, you're on my mind. Thank you. Sending love. Hello. You can do anything. And it's got so much hooray to a fabulous friend, just because there are simply no words for this. And that's £5 with any order over £40. Right, so let's go happy birthday. That'll be nice. Now I haven't primed this stamp, which I think I will do beforehand. And the way I tend to prime that works for me is I just rub it on my skin, on the back of my hand. Now, not everyone can do this, so find your way of priming that you find works for you. And all it is to remove any residue from the manufacturing process, and then you'll get a clearer stamp. Some people find just using it a couple of times and cleaning it works fine, but I find that works most of the time best and quickest for me. Right, so I'm going to use this, and I'm going to want to make it go down the page, so I'm going to have it here like so, and then we're going to pop our plate on top, and we're going to squish it down to pick that up, and that is stuck on there now. That was a hair. So let's grab some ink and let's go with a bit of, what can I reach? Secret C. Now, like I say, I haven't played with this. I don't know exactly what it can do yet. So you're seeing it new with me. Right, I'll just push it down. And there we have a nice stamp. I've missed a bit here. I don't know if you can see that actually. You're a bit far away. It hasn't stamped perfect, but because we've used a positioning tool, that's not a problem. Instead of having to worry about lining it back up, we can go back because it'll be in exactly the same place. And there we go. It's now filled that in. You don't have to worry about not getting an even stamp. This is great for people who've got dexterity problems or find stamping, they don't get a crisp, clean edge, like print to the stamp. You can go over it numerous times and it's not a problem. So that gives us a nice clean stamp and a way of using just the big pad just to stamp. Now, what we can do if we use the little one is, if I just clean it, I'm going to have a go at creating an ombre effect. So we'll do multiple stamps, and we do the beginning the same way. We'll pop it on here. So we've got it somewhere where we like it, but making sure we can get it on here. That's it. That lines up. So we can pick that up. Now, because it's a new stamp, it is sticking to the cardstock a little bit, but that'll fade. And just make sure that your cardstock's not moving. So we can line those up, pop it down. It's not going to do anything until we press it down, so we could pick it up and move it again. But we'll start here and just press it down. And it's ever so easy to press down. And then we can move it along. And it means we can stamp again. And then we can move it along again and stamp again. So it's getting lighter. There we go. And we can create a fun card front from that. Now, something else you can do, I need another piece of card. Oh, I've already got my one folder out. Right, so if we take another piece of card, I'll just trim it in half. I mean, there'll be lots of techniques that you can do this that will become more apparent as time goes on. Like I say, there's lots of photos out there. Lots of videos out there that people have done. And it's finding what you like, what you think works well for you. But what I'm going to do with this time is, oh, excuse me, my gosh, I haven't had breakfast. Right, so that's lined up nicely there. So we check it's where we want it, and then we can ink it up. Whoops. See, my hands aren't working too well today. And we'll stamp. And then instead of, oh, I haven't done that properly. I've just noticed. So instead of moving it to the next one, I'm going to move it to the one after. And I am going to start ink it up again. Right, that's ready. Excellent. And then I shall ink it up again. Miss one. And do another. And again. So it's the whole length of the card stock. I'm using the whole available spots. And stamp that. Oh, again, I've missed, but that's okay because we can line it up and go back. Excellent. And then what we can do, give that a quick clean. Take that one off, and we'll grab a second, which is, so we've got happy birthday to a fabulous friend. Let's do that. Again, I'm just going to prime that a little bit on the back of my hand. Oh dear. Clean that off. Right, now I'm going to line this up where I want it. So it's in the middle. Or we can have it a little bit higher, but we'll have it in the middle. Okay, then we'll pick that up. Oh, that's got that a little bit dirty, but you never know, we might get away with it. So I'm going to bring in strawberry slush. Like I say, we're just having a play. Might not make anything out of these anyway. And we'll pop that down there. Keep it straight. And there we go. Oh, no, not quite on that D. Again, go back in. So you get the idea. It's going to take some getting used to, some practice. Like this, you can slightly have it off. So what I would suggest is making sure that it's pressed down at the top here so that you know that's where you've got it. And then if you have to go back over it, it's in the same spot because it has got a little bit of movement there. Whereas the other one hasn't because it's wider, but with this being quite narrow, it has got that movement. But excellent. I like it. It's easy to use. Whether we'll be able to purchase more of these so that you don't have to keep changing it every time, don't know. As soon as I find out, I shall let you know. That's 2 different techniques that we can do. Now, something I have thought, going back to this one, we moved it a whole thing each time. You could not move it a whole. We'll go sending glove on, and then put it on there so that I can clean it off a bit, get rid of that residue. And this is the cleaning cloth from the glass mat, which I love. Both of this glass mat and cleaning cloth. Right, so we'll pop another piece down. And if it is that you feel odd working sideways, there's no reason why you can't turn this the other way and work that way so that you can see straight what you're doing. So let's take this off here. And we'll put sending love towards the top. I'll have it there. Right, and then what colour shall we use for this one? I suppose sending love, really. We ought to do it for Valentine's, haven't we? So let's just go real red. Nice bright, real red. And there's a blob on there that has come off my ink pad. Some schmutz that's on my ink pad. And there we go. Ink that back up. That's better. Right, so we can use it sideways. And we'll push it again to make sure it's level. And then we can go down. Just going to do that to make sure. Excellent. Look, perfect stamp. And again, so instead of moving it down a hole, I'm just going to move it down 1 peg to here. Hello, Michelle. Happy New Year. I'm not too bad, thank you. Yourself? And then stamp here. Oh, maybe that's how I did that one. I thought I'd moved it. Okay, ignore what I'm trying to say because that's how I'd done that one. I thought I'd moved it a complete space, but I hadn't. But what we can do with this is then go back over. I've got another blob. Oh well, we won't be using this. Or if I do, we can cover it. Move that down. Just having a play with the new Stampin Platform that I've received this morning. And I thought I would share. Okay. And it doesn't matter if you get it on here because that won't touch once you press it down because the actual platform itself won't go that low because of the springs don't go that low and the stamp won't let it. Right, so we've got that this time, which isn't what I was going for because I hadn't done what I thought I'd done on the first one. I thought we'd done them further apart so I could add in, but that's okay because I have thought what we can do. Ooh. And it's something else this will allow you to do to help. I mean, you can do it anyway, but if you're worried about lining things up in the correct way, And yes, I'm covered in red ink. That's the only thing about red ink. This you get covered. Not bad, being busy. Little man was, wow. 9. It does fly and it just gets faster and faster. Must admit, I'm in shock every time I think that Hayden's 20. I'm like, how? How can it be that old? I've just got a bit of ink around that, so I'm just gonna. But I always say a stained tool is a happy tool because it's been used. Not dirty, but stained. Right. And what I'm thinking is we can go in between here with another bit. So we've got sending love just because. So we can have the just because. Now, yes, you could go in with a stamping block and stamp it, but if you're worried about doing that and it not being in the right place, this allows you to be able to line it up where you want it. Do I want it? I think I'm going to have it there. I'm just going to make sure I've got it level. And I can use this to help me because we've got the grid on it. I'll be able to see when I pick it up if it's level. A little bit down this end. I know I've got it in the right position. There we go. Another blob of red. It does. It really needs to slow down, Michelle. I can't believe we're at the end of January already. I went to a group yesterday and people were on about, oh, you know, January, it drags, it's dragging. And I was like, no, it was me and another lady. Like, it's gone so fast. I just don't know where it's gone. I don't seem to have done anything either. So we've got sending love, and I'm going to do this in Secret C. Just because. And then we'll line it, put it on again. And then we can stamp that. And we know that every one of these is going to be in the same place. So it's going to look neat. That's the thing when you're doing repetitive stuff. If you struggle making sure that it's in the right place, lined up, like I do, and it's like, oh, it'll be okay. This allows you to do it, and you know, it's right. I'm not going to say perfect, because if it's got room for improvement and error, but you know it's right. That follows down in a nice straight line all the way. There we go. That's just something else you can do. Nice repetitive stamping, which looks neat, tidy. Oh, I think we ought to have a play. So it says on here, repeating pattern, place stamps on the small alignment plate, then ink, place the plate on the pegs, press down, move it along, which we've done. Brand new stamps might stick to the paper and peel it off the base. To prevent this, clean new stamps before using. Well, we've done that. Two-step stamping or layered image. Stamp the first image, then remove the stamp, place the second one on and do it. Answer no. Right, so Shall we have a go at using this corner piece? Not sure how it's going to work. I'm going to cut this down to a square. Which we can do 10.5. So, not that I particularly want a square 10.5. It's just that that's the biggest square I can get out of this piece of card. Right. So we can do what stamps? What have we got here? Sunshine Vibe. Oh my love. Sunshine Vibe with lots of die cut. That's got a bit of a circular to it, hasn't it? I don't know how this is going to work. I've never tried to do a circle with this. I don't know if it's large enough, but we'll see. Here we go. I'm going to put it quite to the edge. I'm going to pick it up with the large plate. And it does help if you put your magnets on to hold it in place. That's okay. You can do it. So we make sure it's lined up with the V at the top. And then I'll pop our magnets on. We're going to grab a green. I'm feeling kind of old olive. I was thinking I'm feeling kind of sunny, but no, I'm not. Go old olive. It goes with so many colours. Fabulous colour. I believe it was one of the it was one of the first colours I brought. There we go. That's a nice perfect stamp. And we can move these. We can turn it round 45 degrees. Oh no, 90 degrees. I don't know what I'm talking about. Ink it back up again. And then we can do it again. And then we can turn it again. Now, this isn't the best stamp for doing this, I now realise, but it's showing what we can do. And then pop that again. Up, not quite. Go back down. There you go. And then we can do it again for the last time. Hello, Julie. How are you? You're not late, don't worry. We're just having a look at the new stamping positioning tool that Stampin' Up have brought out. There we go. It's on there. And there we can create a wreath, more or less. Once we've added some flowers onto here, what I would do is die cut some flowers and add them on. I think it'd be perfect. But what I am going to do, just by moving the stamp, a good clean. So now if we move the stamp, so it was there, and I want it to go there so that it's halfway. So I can make it more rounded if I wanted to. So it'll line up slightly different. There we go. We'll pop that back there so it fits in. And because we've moved the stamp, We can go round again and pick that up. Oh, card's moving, but that's okay. We can put that back. We'll have a magnet in. No, we won't, because I'll put them in a bit further. That's going to touch their stuff. We have there and there, because the stamp's always going to be up around there. And we can do this in a different colour. Don't want quite so dark as in fact, I'm going to make it hard for myself, but I'm going to do Old Olive, and I'm going to do it stamped off. I think. No, I'm not. We'll just go through it like this. We're only having a look at what it's like. And then twist it round again. Would have been better if I'd have stamped it off. And what I'd have done to stamp it off is just add in a piece of card, stamped it, and then stamped it onto where I want it. He was going in the craft room till 2:15 this morning. Raided your stash and girlified some and used so of those Mr. Men sets I had and made some cards for Amelia. Steve's taken 10 to work today to get signed. I reckon she'll go past. Oh, excellent. Yeah, and me. I've sent some. We've all signed and done one. So, yeah. Oh, and the phone, which I totally ignore because it's normally on silent. I don't use my house phone. And last one. Yeah, I would have preferred this had I stamped off. So the second one was a bit lighter. But it's all about playing and seeing how things work today. But there you go. That just fills in them little pieces that we had. And I think that's quite nice, actually. I don't mind that they a bit stick out because like I say, once you've die cut flowers and stuck some flowers around it, you can strategically that word place them so that it hides them bits. Right. So I've got to say I'm very impressed. I like it. I can't wait to see what other people come up with and how you can use it. I'm sure there are lots of different ways that it can be used other than just this, and I'm sure some people will come up with some fabulous ways. But I like being able to do the repeat stamping, knowing I've got it in the right place. So, like, I mean, it's great for making things like that, but this is what I like to do. So I can do something down, it's all lined up nicely, and you don't have to worry. So let's have a little play and make some cards out of these. Why not? I've got nothing out. That was all I was going to do. But we'll make one out of at least this one. We'll trim this down. So if we trim this down to our standard card size. Yeah, it is going to fit. Which for our first layer is 14.4. Now that's going to chop it off. I don't mind it being chopped off, but it's going to look odd if that's full and that's not. So I'm going to trim the top off. There's a bit of that missing. Let's see where that comes to there. There we go. Then that just trims that off. So there's some missing top and bottom. Looks better than if there's a gap at the top and then you've cut one in half at the bottom. I like the how far away it is there, so I'm just going to cut it down to 10. Keep those bits. And then, thank you, Michelle. It looks good, doesn't it? It's so easy. I mean, yeah, like I say, once you've got your flowers on, who knows that them bits don't fall in. I mean, if you wanted to bend it round to begin with, you could. Right, so sending love just because. And I've got some bits on there. That's okay. So I'm going to put a black. Let me find my scrap box because I might have a black layer size already. As you can see, I didn't get anything out like this to use. I just thought I'd share and that's it. No, I haven't got a piece big enough. So we'll have to put black. Oh, that's a bit of an odd piece. We'll use that rather than cutting up a card base size. And we'll chop this at 10.25 thereabouts. Just so it gives a couple of mil all round. 14.65 thereabouts. I'll just allow it to give us a little border all the way around there. And then we will have real red. If I can reach. Real red card base. Oops, sorry. Give you all a headache. Nope. Don't want to cut it at 14.4. It's 14.9. And we shall score at 10.5 on a card base. Okay. And give that a score. And we'll have that with that on top. I mean, that's a lovely card on its own. In fact, I did that in Secret C, didn't I? Not black. That should have done a Secret C. And then I've got Secret C ribbon. Let's have a look. Yeah, because it's a bit more blue. I am going to swap that. Because I usually do red and black. But I just used what was there. Let's grab Secret C. We've got scrapbook, we've got card base. Let's grab a piece of that. And this is a very dark blue, but not a navy. Some really nice colour to use instead of black. It does look a bit more blue on screen than it actually looks in real life. I mean, compared to the black, it's a totally different colour. But when you just see it, it looks like black. And it is gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour. Get rid of that. I'll have it on there. That's better. Right, let's glue this. And then if you wanted to send someone a Valentine's card, but not as a Valentine's card, you could send in love just because, or if you wanted to send your partner a card just because she fancied it, why not? I don't think that's what I'll do. Don't send doll cards at the best of time. Right, shall I wrap it around and do a bow? I think so. So we'll cut a piece to go round, and then I won't do a bow, I might just do a knot. Don't always need to do a bow, do we? I'll have it there. Oops. And I'll take it something's being delivered. Oh no, I've got to rate it. Gosh. I only received the stuff yesterday. Oh, I just want to check that I've got that level. Yeah, looks good to me. I'll stick that at the back. Then we can add some glue onto here. Definitely need to go and eat. Feeling a bit funny. But it's been one of them mornings. Like I say, over an hour to get through to book for accommodation. And I needed to have a shower, and yeah, well, it was going to be a lovely, relaxed morning because I was up at 7 to get with Hayden, because he has an early start on a Thursday now. And then we can just add a little knot, I think. So I'll just trim that off a little, like that. And then we'll find some diamantes of some sort. What can we use? What have I got in my little bag still? Gold's not right. I always like silver with black and gold, even though it's not black. But I think silver looks nice. But I will check what else I've got, because I have got other colours. Not sure the snowflakes are going to cut it, though I use them as like stars. They're all right if you tuck them under things. Possibility. What else have we got? I have got Secret Sea, actually, but they might be quite nice, especially if you want to send it to a male. It's not quite so blingy, but it's got a bit of a shine to it. Yeah. There we go. Just to add a little bit of something to it. Pop those back. Try and keep everywhere clean and tidy. Right, so we just need an inner for this, which I haven't got. And it's cut. It's going to be a job for this afternoon. Starting from that. So 14.4 by 10. And now I'll just stick this on the inside here. Come on, glue. Blast me out. I've got more, but I like to make sure I get the most out of my glue. There we go. I am just going to leave it blank on the inside, or I might find a little heart maybe somewhere. Have I got a little heart in something? We have. There we go. Be my Valentine. We've got the 3 little hearts. I believe I covered in ink. And I've washed my hair this morning. Washing your hair is the best way to get the ink off your hands. And I've done it this morning, so I don't need to do it for a few days. Let's see. And then we'll just put 3 little hearts. I love that little heart stamp. I think it's so cute. Look. Adorable. All right, let that dry. Clean that off. Go that away. Make sure we put things away so we don't lose them. I have got a stack of stamps there that we've used. Put those away. There we go. We've had a little play and see what we can do with the new stamping positioning tool. And we've made a card from the one. So yeah, like I say, I like it. It's different to what I'm used to, and it's going to take some getting used to and finding out everything that can be done. But yeah, I like it. Solid. It feels solid. I mean, even this, it's, I mean, yeah, you could break it if you did it, but why are you gonna? But just to, it's real sturdy plastic. It's gonna take some wear and tear, and yeah, built to last. That's what my thinking is. And I love the fact that they've put these little plastic. These are very thin, obviously, because they need them to move and they need to go underneath the plate without interfering. How long these going to last, not sure. But it's not like you're doing much with them, are you, up and down? They're quite protected. And if it's like with the other the stamp apparatus that we had, they did replacements. They might do replacements for them, but are you going to need them? Probably not. The reason they did replacements for the other ones because they used to snap. In fact, I think one of mine, yeah, the end broke off. Someone in class put them to let them clank together, and they snapped. But I mean, it's not too bad when you've got layers. But they can be quite awkward to remove. And as you can see, there you go, I've done it. I put washi tape, but then that rips. And but I shall still keep this. I shall still use that for different techniques. But that's going to be what I use the majority of the time. And don't forget, if you are a demonstrator you can pre-order this now. It is available. Then from the 3rd of February, it's only going, as far as I know, it's only available free with the starter kit. I'm sure they will put them on sale after, but to begin with, that's your only way of getting hold of one. And if you want it for ease of stamping, making sure you get that perfect stamp, it's great. If you want it for techniques, it's brilliant for that too. So yeah, I've made a blob there. Oh, I'll have to cover that. Never mind. Right, well, thank you very much for joining. I know it's been a little bit different, but I thought best come and show something rather than nothing. And I will be back this evening. The scrapbook page. I don't think I'll be using this. That first scrapbook page. We'll go back to our monthly product spotlight that I'm doing with the Love Notes paper. I think I've got some left. I've got a bit left, yeah. So we'll use that up, see what we can do with that. But yeah, thanks very much, and I'll speak to you all soon. Bye.